Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Trey, and let me talk about the PlayStation Portal, because I got the PlayStation Portal. It's not bad. It could be better, but it's not bad. I think it has so much potential, and once again, it's Sony like just being stupid. It's like, Sony, you got this. You literally have this at the palm of your hands. All you got to do is just make a few tweaks. What needs to happen is, I shouldn't have to have an internet connection to access the games that is on my PlayStation account that I downloaded at all. If you can make your PlayStation Portal where I don't need to have access to internet to play those games, even with the new update, which is great, by the way. I love it. I just got to figure out how to change the settings for where I don't need the TV on at the time, because I haven't did that setting yet. But if we can get it to where I can play my games offline anywhere, you got something going on. Because I've always said that the PSP and the PSP Vita, the two portable systems that Sony had, were the best portable systems to me. Don't get me wrong, I love Game Boy Advance, I love Nintendo DS, but I think the PlayStation, like if we're talking about leveling up, I think the PSP and the PSP Vita, but mostly the PSP, were freaking fantastic. Especially having PlayStation 3 graphics on a portable system was pretty freaking amazing. And I'm just mad that y'all are right there. Y'all are at the cusp of making this shit the best thing ever. You just gotta stop requiring people to be online. Stop it. We already brought the games. We already downloaded it and paid for it with the Premium Plus, all that bullshit or whatever. Let us play these games offline. So that way, I should be able to be in the car, while I'm in traffic or whatever, and my mom or whoever is driving, driving me around, and I'm able to turn on my PlayStation Portal without having to be connected to any Wi-Fi system or service, and play my games from my PlayStation 5 that are already on my PlayStation 5. As long as it's downloaded onto my system or whatever, I should have automatic access. I don't need nothing else. Stop requiring people to be online all the damn time, 24/7. Because when Wi-Fi, internet stuff be shutting down, which it has happened, people are calling up PlayStation and stuff like that, and even Nintendo. Like, y'all gotta stop requiring people to be online for everything. You get what I'm saying? Not everything requires us to be online for everything. Because there are certain games I get it. But, like, for instance, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? I shouldn't have to be online to play those games. I already own them. I own the copies of both of them. If I bought it digitally or if I have the physical copy, as long as they're on my console system, I should be able to access them through my PlayStation Portal without no issue. You get what I'm saying? Because I feel like if y'all can get to that point, PlayStation, I'm telling you, you'll triple in sales. You'll triple in sales, because people will be like, oh shit. Because that's what a lot of people are waiting for. I don't care what nobody say. I'm on the opinion that you do need console. You do need consoles exclusives. You do need console exclusives, because you need a reason why people would want to choose the PlayStation over the Xbox, over Nintendo, over PC. Because again, not everybody can afford the PC, or not everybody wants to get the PC and having to do all that bullshit in order to make it good. Because even though I wouldn't mind having a gaming PC, where the way my house is set up and the way my my grandma kind of came over and took over everything. Ooh, Jesus. Me having not having access to my own room that has all of my technology stuff in it. Yeah, it kind of makes it a little just a little bit challenging to do a gaming PC. So when I come home, I'm like, I'm just gonna fit in where I can fit in. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, she took over. She has taken over. I haven't even been in my bed that I brought for myself that has the elevating up and down button for your mattress. Grandma took over that shit too. But what I'm saying is, for me, as a person who would want a gaming PC but can't really do anything right now with it because I would not be able to sit in the room with her and be like, you know, tinkering and fixing on stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? So, and I understand people like, oh, just get a Steam Deck. Again, understandable. But at the same time, I'm not, and this is not because I'm a PlayStation fanboy. I really genuinely just like I always like PlayStation. I've always just loved the feel of PlayStation. Not because I think it's better or anything, but it had a lot of my games that I love outside of, you know, Nintendo. You know, but because it was always a competition between Nintendo and PlayStation for me anyway, because of the fact, don't get me wrong, I think the Xbox 360 was probably the best version of Xbox because I had an Xbox 360 and I had a lot of video games on that one as well. But I just love the feel of PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it without being like, oh my God, but there was just a feel about PlayStation that I just love. And again, I guess it would be also because of the exclusives with PlayStation at the time that I was lucky enough to be like, okay, great, cool, I got a PlayStation, and a lot of these games are coming out on PlayStation anyway, so that's great, right? And don't get me wrong, I got a Nintendo Switch. I had 3DS, DS, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, Game Boy Color, GameCube. The only thing I didn't have was Wii and Wii U because they looked stupid. I ain't about to sit up here and flex with you. I thought the Wii and the Wii U was the most dumbest shit I've ever seen. If you ask me, Nintendo should have kept the Nintendo 64 or the GameCube and just evolved that. That's just my personal opinion on that situation with that one. But again, this isn't me saying trying to be like a PlayStation fanboy, but what I'm saying is that there's so much potential with PlayStation that it's like they forgot the potential that they had, or they forgot how they elevated the gaming market. If you ask me, I don't care what nobody say. I think PlayStation revolutionized a lot of gaming when I was growing up. I'm not saying it's the revolutionary that started gaming thing. No, I'm not saying that. But when I was a kid and I got my hands on a PlayStation 2, and there was just so many, oh my God, my PlayStation 2 collection was ridiculous because of how many amazing games were and how many exclusive it was. And the same can also be said for Nintendo. When Nintendo came out with the Game Boy Advance SP and Game Boy Advance, I had so many Game Boy Advance games. You know what I'm saying? So I love a good Portal. You know what I'm saying? Hell, to the point where I want to buy those portable gamings that already have the emulators or whatever and stuff like that, because they got one that looks like a PSP, and it has a lot of games from like PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, PSP, Nintendo 3DS, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm thinking about buying it. I ain't about to lie to you. I think I'm gonna get it. What I'm also saying is that I want PlayStation Portal to do that. I want you to have it offline because it's more important to have shit available offline than it is online, because people are going to still do online stuff. You know what I'm saying? But having the PlayStation Portal offline, and I can play it offline on the go, all it's going to do is make me want to buy more PlayStation stuff that I can add to my collection where I can play offline too when I'm, you know what I'm saying? Because all it's going to do is make me buy more. Because when the PSP came out, I was trying to buy more PSP games as well. But the problem is that Sony, like the dummies they are, decided that, hey, we're not going to make that many PSP games, and then get confused why the PlayStation Portal didn't sell as much as they thought it was going to sell. Well, I don't know. When you decided to only, convert 10% of the games from Japan to English, yeah, I can see why people didn't really buy the PSP, because compared to the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 3, you had so many games coming out on those systems that it was ridiculous. But the PSP was the time that you decided, we're just going to do a few selective. I wonder how come the PSP and PSP Vita aren't selling that well. What? It don't make the sense that God gave, honestly. But that's just my personal opinion on that situation. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys have the PlayStation Portal? Do you think that Sony's just leaving money on the table by or are you thinking that Sony eventually is going to get the eureka moment and be like, "Oh yeah"? Because I'm telling you, the potential is there, and once Sony get out their asses and stop standing in their own way, I'm telling you, if they can get that PlayStation Portal and they can do offline shit, I'm telling you, they will get so many sales. But that's just my personal opinion. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, everybody.